Hey, Scott here, the Golf Strength Coach. In this video, I wanted to touch on what I see as probably the biggest trend in golf these days, and that is golf fitness and the direction that it seems to be going in. What I'm seeing is that there is this focus on getting people to get a physical assessment of their body to see if they can make improvements in their mobility, and that will translate into a better golf swing. And I think that's a bit misguided for most golfers. I think analyzing your body and your limitations is very helpful at the upper levels of the game if you're trying to squeeze out a few extra yards or whatever. For the vast majority of golfers, and let's just focus on the average golfer. The average handicap, I think, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 to 16. The average golfer simply has not developed enough skill, and that's what's holding them back as far as lowering their scores. You can work on your shoulder mobility with whatever exercises you want. You can work on your hip mobility and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have enough skill, and you may be also being held back by a lack of talent, you're simply not going to get as good as what you think you should. So what I want to do is go outside and kind of demonstrate to you, why this is so. So let's go ahead on outside and we'll hit a few balls into the net. Okay, so welcome to my very humble practice setup in my backyard. So let's just get right to the point I was trying to make inside. If you look at just a half a golf swing, there's not a whole lot of movement that you have to master to make a good half golf swing that provides you with consistent contact and distance control. So it's just basically here. That requires very little effort for me to hit the ball with my sand wedge with that swing about 50 yards and get it close to my target, reasonably close. So the idea that for some reason you've got to work on your shoulder mobility, you've got to work on the flexibility in your hips, you got to work on your shoulder turn in order to make that little golf swing, that's kind of nonsense. I think we're putting the cart before the horse. So the point I'm trying to make is you've got to develop some skills first and then worry about any physical issues that might be holding you back. So I can still generate a golf swing speed with my driver over 110 miles an hour, but I've got issues with my lower back. I don't have tremendous shoulder mobility. My golf swing nowadays finishes right about here. This shoulder gives me a little pain now and then, but that's not holding me back from being able to play pretty good golf if and when I decide I want to go play. So make the priority developing your skills, especially from 100 yards on in, and then if you get to a point where you want to try and get an extra 20 yards off the tee or whatever, and you think the way to do that is to lengthen your backswing, which you really don't need to anymore, then by all means work on some of the physical issues that might be holding you back. So, but ultimately I believe your priorities as far as golf is concerned is develop your skills, build your strength, work on muscle endurance so that you can spend more time practicing and developing your skills. And then if you get yourself to a fairly high level and you want to take your game to the next level as far as competition golf, then by all means, if you've got some sort of a physical issue that might be holding you back, then try and address that issue. Okay, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.